Words of Sri Aurobindo from the book The Mother, Part 2, Letters on the Mother by Our Lord, Chapter 7, True Relation with the Mother, page 176, topic The Mother's Love. Sri Aurobindo says, "You are the mother's child, and the mother's love to her children is without limit, and she bears patiently with the defects of their nature. Try to be the true child of the mother. It is there within you, but your outward mind is occupied by little futile things, and too often in a violent fuss over them. You must not only see the mother in dream, but learn to see and feel her with you and within you at all times. Then you will find it easier to control yourself and change, for she being there would be able to do it for you." As for the feelings about the mother, Sri Aurobindo says, as for the feelings about the mother, and that her love is only given for a return in work or to those who can do sadhana well, that is the usual senseless idea of the vital physical mind and has no value. Date 17 January 1937. If meditation brings a headache, you should not meditate. It is a mistake to think that meditation is indispensable to the sadhana. There are so many who do not do it, but they are near to the mother and progress as well as those who have long meditations. The one thing necessary is to be turned to the mother, and that is all that is needed. Do not fear or be sad, but let the mother do quietly her work in you and through you, and all will be well. Date 16th March 1935. Certainly, it is not necessary for you to become good in order that the mother must give you her love. Her love is always there, and the imperfections of the human nature do not count against that love. The only thing is that you must become aware of it always there. For that is necessary for the psychic to come in front, for the psychic knows, while the mind, vital and physical, look only at surface appearances and misinterpret them. Date 24th June 1936. Sri Aurobindo says, X is probably making two mistakes. First, expecting outward expressions of love from the mother. Second, looking for progress instead of concentrating on openness and surrender without demand of a return. These are two mistakes which sadhaks are constantly making. If one opens, if one surrenders, then as soon as the nature is ready, progress will come of itself. But the personal concentration for progress brings difficulties and resistance and disappointment because the mind is not looking at things from the right angle. The mother has a special kindness for X, and every day at pranam she is trying to put a sustenance force upon him. He must learn to be very quiet in mind and vital and consecrate himself so that he may become conscious as well as receive. The divine love, unlike the human, is deep and vast and silent. One must become quiet and wide to be aware of it and reply to it. He must make it his whole object to be surrendered so that he may become a vessel and instrument, leaving it to the divine wisdom and love to fill him with what is needed. Let him also fix this in the mind, not to insist that in a given time, he must progress, develop, get realizations. Whatever it takes, he must be prepared to wait and persevere and make his whole life an aspiration and an opening for the one thing only, the divine. To give oneself is the secret of sadhana, not to demand and acquire a thing. The more one gives oneself, the more the power to receive will grow. But for that, all impatience and revolt must go. All suggestions of not getting, not being helped, not being loved, going away, of abandoning life or spiritual endeavor must be rejected. Date: 1st September 1936. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, obviously, if people expect the ordinary kind of love from the mother, they must be disappointed. The love based on the vital and its moods, but that is just the kind of love that has to be overpassed in yoga or transformed into something else. Date: 14th March 1936. All that is quite correct, even the human or the psychic love of the mother. Many are unable to feel or understand because it is not quite in the ordinary human way. Date: 5th May 1935. But why do you want to meet her as human mother? If you can see the Divine Mother in a human body, that should be enough and a more fruitful attitude. Those who approach her as a human mother often get into trouble by their conception, making all sorts of mistakes in their approach to her. Date: 2nd May 1934. The sadhak feels alone and suffers when he does not have the mother's presence. Does the embodied mother feel the absence of her child as the human mother does? Or is she more miserable than the human for the reason that she cannot express her feeling as openly as a human mother? For this question, Sri Aurobindo says, if that was the case, the mother would have to be in profound state of millionfold misery all the time. For why she would be miserable only for the sadhaks? Why not for each soul that is wandering in the ignorance? The child need not be miserable, but simply come back when the mother calls. 24th September 1934.